Mowgli is already flying through the jungle when the story drops in on him. Bare feet slapping across roots and stones while the wolf cubs race beside him like this is the easiest thing in the world. He throws himself over fallen trunks, swings over a gap, and tries to keep his lead. But he is working harder than all of them. The wolves move as one body, reading the ground, the wind, and the trees without thinking, while he keeps forcing his way forward with raw speed and nerve. When he chooses the branches instead of the trail, it only takes one dead limb snapping under him to end the run, and Bagheera is waiting the second he hits the ground. The panther's lesson is the same one Mowgli never quite manages to escape. He is brave, clever, and fast, but none of that changes the fact that he is not a wolf. Bagheera points out every mistake in the chase, from breaking formation to trusting the wrong tree, and Mowgli keeps defending himself the way only he can, insisting that if one small thing had gone differently, he would have made it. But excuses do not matter in the jungle. As Bagheera watches the wolves moving naturally together, he remembers why Mowgli is here at all. Years earlier, he found a helpless baby left alone in the wild, and knowing the child could never survive by himself, he brought him to the Seeonee wolves and placed him under Akela's protection. That choice gives Mowgli a family, even if it never makes him fully belong. Raksha raises him like one of her own. The cubs treat him like a brother, and he grows up trying to fit himself into a shape the jungle never designed for him. He recites the law, trains with the pack, and wants badly to prove he can be what everyone else is. But even Bagheera can see the truth. Wolves grow into wolves, Mowgli grows into something else, and that gap keeps widening no matter how much he wants to ignore it. Still, for all the frustration and all the corrections, the pack is the only home he knows, and Raksha is the only mother he has ever had. Then the dry season grows so severe that the jungle itself seems to lose its breath. The river shrinks, the land turns brittle, and the peace rock rises from the water, calling the water truce for the first time in years. That means every creature in the jungle can come to drink without fear of being hunted, and Mowgli is amazed by the sight of everything gathering in one place. Raksha warns him to behave, not to hunt, and especially not to use any of his tricks, but the second he sees the crowd struggling at the water's edge, his mind starts working in the way Bagheera and Akela always tell him to suppress. Using a rope and a bowl, he pulls water up to where he can drink in peace. To Mowgli, it is just a smart solution. To Akela, it is a problem. The wolves do not use tricks, and he tells Mowgli so in front of half the jungle. The boy swallows the embarrassment and tries to laugh it off with the younger cubs, but that moment barely has time to settle before the entire mood at the watering hole changes. The birds circle, the animals stiffen. Raksha moves Mowgli behind her, and then Shere Khan steps down into the truce, scarred, huge, and completely at ease with the fear he creates. He drinks, talks like he owns every heartbeat around him, and then says what he really came to say. He smells a man-cub here. Akela stands his ground and makes it clear that Mowgli belongs to the pack, but Shere Khan is not interested in the wolves' affection. He reminds them what men become and what men do, and the burns across his own face become the proof he uses to frighten every animal listening. Raksha snarls that the cub is hers, and Shere Khan answers with a promise that is more dangerous than an attack. The truce will not last forever. The rock will disappear when the rains come back, and when that happens, the protection around Mowgli ends with it. He leaves them with one last question hanging over the council like a blade. How many lives is one man-cub worth? The rains finally do return, but Shere Khan's threat does not fade with the drought. The pack argues for days while Mowgli waits outside and senses the answer long before anyone says it to his face. He hears enough to understand that his presence is dividing the wolves, and before the adults can finish making the choice for him, he makes it himself. He says he will leave. Raksha tries to stop it, Bagheera offers to take him where humans live, and Akela gives the order everyone knows is the only safe one. Raksha finally folds him into her grief and tells him the one thing he will need to carry no matter where he goes. Whatever others call him, he is still her son. Bagheera takes him away through the jungle while Mowgli keeps trying to bargain for any other future. He asks about living with turtles, crocodiles, rhinos, anyone who might let him stay close to the life he already knows. Bagheera refuses every idea because he understands something Mowgli still cannot accept. The jungle is changing around the boy now. It is no longer just his home. It is a place where a predator has decided to hunt him specifically. Along the way, they stop and bow before a herd of elephants, and Bagheera explains that these animals shape the rivers, the land, and the jungle itself. They made almost everything Mowgli loves, but they did not make him. That is why he has to go. Mowgli pushes too hard for answers at exactly the wrong time. He demands to know why the man village matters if Bagheera found him in the jungle, and why Shere Khan hates him with such personal rage, but Bagheera only tells him to run north if they get separated. A second later, Shere Khan bursts out of the brush, and the walk to the village turns into a desperate sprint. Bagheera throws himself into the tiger to buy Mowgli a chance, and Mowgli runs through grass while a herd of buffalo charges into the chaos. He is nearly caught more than once, tumbles down into a ravine, and then does the only thing he can do. He leaps onto the horn of a running buffalo and lets the herd carry him out of the tiger's reach. The escape saves him, but it also leaves him alone, swept through mud, water, and mist. He washes into a darker corner of the jungle and stumbles into the thick, shadowed world of Kaa. At first, the voice that reaches him sounds almost kind. She tells him he should not be alone, offers him safety, and gently draws him closer while he tries to understand what is speaking to him from the dark. By the time he realizes the danger, he is already trapped. Her coils lock around him, and her voice becomes something far more dangerous than force. She tells him she knows what he is, where he came from, and even why Shere Khan wants him. Under Kaa's spell, Mowgli sees the memory he has been missing his whole life. He was not born in the jungle. His father carried him through the dark while holding the red flower, and Shere Khan found them. The tiger attacked, Mowgli's father fought back, and in that struggle, Shere Khan was burned before he killed the man. The cub was left behind in the confusion, and Bagheera found him afterward. That revelation hits Mowgli like the ground disappearing beneath him. Everything suddenly connects, from Shere Khan's hatred to Bagheera's silence. Kaa feels that weakness and tries to fold him fully into her grasp, promising he can stay in the jungle if he stays with her. Then Baloo smashes through and drags him out of death at the last possible moment. Baloo does not rescue Mowgli out of pure generosity, though he is more generous than he wants anyone to notice. The giant sloth bear wakes him up in a cave and immediately turns the rescue into a debt. According to Baloo, Mowgli owes him, and the fastest way to repay him is with hard work. That hard work turns out to mean climbing a massive cliff full of beehives, so Baloo can get honey without having to do any climbing himself. Mowgli protests that it is dangerous. Baloo keeps talking, and before long, the boy is hanging over a sheer drop with bees all around him while the bear shouts encouragement from below, like this was obviously going to work. What Baloo does not expect is that Mowgli will solve the problem in his own way. Instead of simply climbing higher and trusting luck, he starts cutting vines, building leverage, and using the environment with the same practical creativity that got him in trouble at Peace Rock. He still gets stung plenty, but he also gets results. By the time he drops the hive down, Baloo is staring at him with genuine amazement. For the first time in a long time, Mowgli is not being told that what makes him different is wrong. Baloo tells him exactly the opposite. Tricks, tools, and weird ideas are not flaws. They are Mowgli's way, and maybe that way is worth something. That is all Mowgli needs to hear. When Baloo carries him to a ridge overlooking the man village, Mowgli does not feel any pull toward the place below. The red flower fascinates him, but the people do not. The wolves are what he remembers. The jungle is what he loves. Baloo sees that hesitation and makes a selfish offer wrapped in affection. Mowgli can stay through winter and help him gather enough food to live comfortably. Later, if he still wants to go to the village, Baloo himself will walk him there. It is not what Bagheera wanted, but to Mowgli it sounds like freedom, and he takes the deal. Back at the wolves' den, Shere Khan takes advantage of Mowgli's absence in the cruelest possible way. He slips near Raksha and her cubs and tells a vicious story about birds that trick other mothers into raising chicks that are not their own. The meaning lands exactly where he wants it to, because he is not trying to kill Raksha right there. He is trying to wound her, shake her, and wait for the moment when the man-cub hears what happened. That moment comes soon enough, but Mowgli is nowhere near the den to stop what follows. By the time the truth catches up with him, the damage will already be done. For a while though, he gets something close to happiness. He and Baloo build a whole system together, gathering fruit and honey, marking routes, cutting vines, hauling supplies, and turning the jungle into a place where Mowgli's mind is finally useful instead of forbidden. Their work becomes a rhythm, and that rhythm becomes friendship, no matter how much Baloo resists the word. He sings, jokes, teaches Mowgli how to enjoy what the jungle gives instead of constantly trying to survive it. And Mowgli starts to imagine that maybe he really can stay exactly where he is. Then Bagheera finds them again. At first, Mowgli is thrilled. He shows Bagheera everything, proud of the huge honey stash he and Baloo built for winter, proud of the vines, the engineering, and the proof that his tricks can help instead of hurt. But Bagheera sees something else in that cave. He sees a boy being encouraged to build a future in the one place Shere Khan will never stop hunting him. He explodes, condemns the tricks, condemns Baloo for using him, and reveals the truth Baloo did not know. Akela is dead. Shere Khan killed him. Suddenly, the whole argument turns from a disagreement into a crisis. Bagheera begs Baloo to do the one thing Mowgli might actually listen to, and Baloo, hurting more than he lets show, agrees. So when he finds Mowgli by the river, He does what Bagheera could never do and what he himself hates doing. He lies. He tells Mowgli they were never really friends, that he only cared about the honey, and that he does not want him around anymore. Mowgli is crushed because he believes every word, and Baloo hates himself the second the boy runs. Bagheera knows what it costs him, but cost does not matter now. They need Mowgli moving towards safety. Instead, all they do is leave him alone and hurt long enough for the Bandar log to take him. The monkeys drag Mowgli high into the ruins of an ancient stone city while he screams for Bagheera and fights to break free. Baloo and Bagheera follow as fast as they can, but the path up is steep. The monkeys are everywhere, and the place they are entering feels wrong long before they see who rules it. Deep inside the ruined temple, Mowgli is brought before a gigantic ape lurking in shadow. The creature introduces himself as King Louie, and unlike the rest of the jungle, he is not interested in Mowgli as prey, family, or threat. He is interested in him as a key. Louie has food, treasure, power, and armies of monkeys. But none of it matters because he still lacks the one thing only man can truly control. He wants the red flower. He tells Mowgli that if he brings fire, he can stay in the jungle under Louie's protection and never have to fear anyone again. It is exactly the kind of offer designed for a frightened boy who wants to belong somewhere, but Mowgli cannot give Louie what he wants because he has never controlled fire himself. Louie turns that conversation into a performance, wrapping the threat in music and charm until the demand becomes impossible to ignore. Then Baloo bursts in pretending to be Louie's biggest admirer. The act buys them seconds, not freedom. Louie catches on quickly, orders Baloo seized, and throws the whole temple into chaos. Bagheera and Baloo fight the monkeys while Mowgli runs, but Louie is too huge and too strong for the ruins around him, and every movement he makes tears more of the place apart. During the chase, he hurls the worst truth possible at Mowgli. Akela is dead, and it happened because of him. The words hit harder than any falling stone from there. The rescue still happens, but it no longer feels like a rescue to Mowgli. By the time Baloo and Bagheera reach him and admit they knew, trust is broken all over again, and Mowgli bolts. This time, he runs all the way to the man village. He reaches the edge in the dark, crosses the bridge cautiously, and watches the humans from hiding while they gather around a massive bonfire. For a long moment, he just stares. These are his own kind, but they do not feel like his people. What does catch him is the fire itself. He sees a torch fixed to the wall, understands exactly what it is, and takes it. Then instead of staying, he turns back toward the jungle, carrying the very thing everyone warned him never to touch. He is no longer heading toward safety. He is going home to face the tiger on his own terms. By the time he returns, the wolves, boars, deer, buffalo, and Bagheera are gathered near the river with fear spreading through them faster than the smoke. Mowgli steps out holding the red flower and finally says what none of them have been able to say with force. No one needs to fear Shere Khan anymore. The tiger answers with contempt, pointing past Mowgli at the fire now spreading through the dry jungle. To him, this is proof that the man-cub has become exactly what he always predicted. He pushes Mowgli to use the fire the way his father did. Instead, Mowgli throws the burning branch away and claims the only identity that matters to him. He is Mowgli of the Seeonee, and this is his home. That choice changes everything. The wolves answer Shere Khan together by reciting the law of the jungle, and for the first time in the story, the whole pack acts like one force instead of a frightened council. Baloo rises to meet the tiger head-on, the wolves swarm in after him, and Bagheera knows Mowgli still has a part to play, but not by fighting like the wolves do. He tells him to fight like a man. So while the others keep Shere Khan occupied, Mowgli runs back toward the burning section of forest and remembers every lesson he ever received, from Bagheera's warnings about dead trees to his own knowledge of vines, leverage, and timing. He reaches a dead tree standing over the fire and starts building a trap in seconds, tying one end of a long vine around the trunk and the other around a hanging branch. Shere Khan tears free of the wolves and comes after him, forcing Mowgli higher through smoke and heat, while taunting him with his father's death and Akela's murder. Mowgli is bleeding now, exhausted, and perched above open fire on a branch that can barely hold either of them. Shere Khan thinks that means the boy is finished, but Mowgli finally stops running. He tells the tiger he is done being afraid, and that one decision matters more than any trap. When Shere Khan lunges, his weight lands on the dead branch Mowgli chose on purpose. It snaps under him and the tiger falls screaming into the flames below. Mowgli survives because the vine catches him, leaving him swinging over the inferno while the jungle burns around him. When he climbs down, he is not met by cheers right away. He is met by elephants emerging through the smoke. Mowgli bows to them the way Bagheera taught him, and then the animals at the river look on as the elephants begin to work. They drag logs, move trees, shift rock, and force the water to change course until the redirected stream crashes over the fire and kills it. Only then does the jungle finally breathe again. Raksha sees Mowgli alive and cries out for him. The wolves answer with a howl and the pack rushes back to him. After that, life settles down. Mowgli runs with the wolves again, but now he moves in his own way, using the trees, the vines, and every trick that once made him stand out. Bagheera still keeps an eye on him, and Baloo still struggles to keep up. In the end, Mowgli lies on a branch above the forest with Bagheera and Baloo beside him, finally at peace in the only home he has ever wanted.